Guys, what's up? What's up? Okay, first of all, we starting the day off. Okay, let's be grateful, be thankful for yet another day in the land of the living. Okay, and you're protected. Okay, know that, always know that you're shielded and you're protected. Okay, you are also guided by the Most High, okay? Yea, do we walk through the shadow of the valley of death, we shall fear no evil, okay? So let's go ahead and push forward. You guys, I wanted to tell you about the time that I got locked up in Mississippi. Everybody knows that this is like one of the worst places to go to jail or, get locked up, run into the law with or whatever. So, you guys, I was about 19 years old, I want to say 19, 20, somewhere up in the area. But I got locked up and I went to jail for like, what, 2 days or something like that. And I swear, y'all, it felt like 4 or 5, 6 or 7. It felt like a fucking week. But let me tell you what happened. So it was for a traffic violation, right? So from that traffic violation, which was not properly stopping at a stop sign, he told me he also added on not wearing a seatbelt, possession of paraphernalia, and something about narcotics. Now that's the questionable part, okay? Good morning, Fire, and bless to you as well. Um, So let me tell y'all, here's the crazy part. Man, I gotta tell you about this time, like I got locked up in Mississippi. It was crazy, which I'm sure a lot of people can definitely relate. So he pulled me over because he said that I did not stop at the stop sign. I'm like, okay, I actually did stop at the stop sign. I stopped at the stop sign maybe like a half of a car ahead. You know what I'm saying? So, well, not ahead, but kind of like behind. Like the stop sign was in front of me. I stopped, but way before I was supposed to stop. So I guess he did not see me, right? But even if then, you should have saw my headlights pause or whatever the fuck, right? You saw me stop. Okay, period. That's why you don't get like pulled over by the police in Mississippi, especially on a back road and especially not by yourself. Um, so he pulled me over. He was like, "You didn't stop at the stop sign." I was like, "I stopped at that stop sign and I did. I did." And he was like, "No, you didn't." He was like, "What's that smell?" And I was like, "What smell?" He was like, "What's that smell?" Now I had actually tapped my little my little roach or whatever, and I threw it out the window. So it wasn't no more weed in the car, period. But he was like, what is it or whatever? And I was like, oh, I guess my brother was smoking in the car before I got in here, sir. Okay. you know and he was like, nah, that smells like this, that like smells fresh. I was like, well, I just hopped in the car to come over here. You know what I'm saying? And so he started getting upset and strong arming, like, where is that? Where is that? Where the weed at? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, sir, it's no weed in this car. He was like, step out the car, blah, blah, blah. Let me check this, that, and the third. And I was like, okay. And at the time I was living with my auntie and I didn't want to get comfortable there. So I had a whole bunch of shit in my car. I had picture frames and clothes and just all kind of shit because, me and my parent, like I said, I was 19 years old. I was still living with my mother at the time. And we had ended up losing our place and we ended up moving in with my aunt. So yeah. So I had a whole bunch of shit in my car and he ended up going through all of my shit and he found like my baby's inhaler or whatever. And he was like, "What's this?" And I was like, that's an inhaler, sir." You know what I'm saying? And he considered it to be paraphernalia because the asthma pump wasn't in the, thing at the time, so um he ended up saying that that was, reason for me to, I guess, go to jail. The fuck, instead of writing me a ticket for a stop sign. So he told me this, that he told me to step back to the back of the vehicle and stuff, and he searched me and pat me down, which I don't think a male is even supposed to pat you down. It's supposed to be a woman to come on the scene to pat you down or whatever. So anyways, um, so moving on forward. Mm. But yeah, so somebody made a comment in the box, y'all. But so this is what happened. He patted me down and stuff. He called her back up and stuff. He was strong arming me, being real rude, disrespectful, loud. I was already crying. Oh, that's another thing. He asked me, he was like, "Why your eyes red? Why your eyes red?" And I had just broke up with my girl or whatever, at the time. And so I had actually traveled to Mississippi or whatever, and my eyes were like red because I was crying and stuff. And so he took that as me, I don't know, I guess on some other shit, right? Okay, so this is what happened. They end up taking me into incarceration or whatever y'all want to call it. I don't know. I only been locked up once, but I hated it. It felt like forever, y'all. So never get. It's just not worth it. Never smoke weed in your car while you're driving, especially if it's not legal or whatever the case may be. Okay, or just by yourself in Mississippi in general. Okay, at nights. All right. So yeah, he ended up locking me up. I was able to call my brother and tell my brother to come and get my car, because there was like, if you don't have anybody to come get it, we're gonna tow it or whatever. And I was like, no, I got somebody that can pull up and get my car for me. And he was like, okay, well, he had called backup, and backup was a black man, and he was even worse than the white dude. I'm like, this acting like he got something to prove. Do you hear me? Like, I see where your loyalty lies, sir, and it is definitely not in the unity and, like for real. So they ended up let my brother come and get my car. He came and got my car. And then they ended up sending me to like what's that, like a local jail or whatever, like a holding jail or some like that. And then they had me to do this little walking test, right? And I did the walking test. I did it. They had me on camera. And then I guess because I didn't fuck up and they couldn't have video proof of me fucking up or walking incorrectly or some shit, you know what I'm saying? They had me to do it again. And then they had me to do it again. And then they had me, and I asked, I'm like, why I'm constantly having to do this? It didn't click in my head at the time that eventually they gonna expect me to, fuck up. That's why somebody will have you do something over and over, because they're not supposed to. Like, all you supposed to do is hold your hands up, balance your arms out, and walk the straight line, turn around and walk back, right? Okay, they had me to do that like 3 times, y'all. 3 times on camera, so they can try to make it seem like what they were saying or putting on me was true. I looked at my charges. Only thing I was supposed to have was like, if he said I didn't stop at the stop sign, which I did, but of course that would have been 1. And then he said I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, that would have been 2. And then he said he smelt paraphernalia or marijuana or whatever the case may be. But where the fuck did narcotic come in at? Okay. And yeah, where the fuck did they come in at? So I feel like that's what they were trying to pin on me, trying to pin narcotics, that label on me, and then had me to walk this line multiple times, saying that, come on now, you gotta fuck up once. Like, come on now, if I fucked up the first time, would they have made me do it over and over? No, they were waiting for me to have a chance to fuck up. They wanted me not to walk in a straight, proper line, not turn around correctly, just not have balance. Baby, I'm a Libra. You got me fucked up. Okay? You're not finna set me up. Anyway, like I said, it's a great blessing, you guys. A great blessing that I actually had those fucking charges dropped for, like, I don't know, $500 is what I paid the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, crazy. So let me finish telling y'all what happened. So after that, I'm sitting in the fucking holding cell. I'm like, can I make a call? Can I make a call? I'm literally in this place by myself. It's no other fucking y'all, I swear to God, if I had a bad attitude or a smart mouth or something like that, I swear I would have been one of these. I don't want to say that, but you know what I'm saying? Like a case of Sandra Bland, a case of, like, I don't want to say that, but y'all, if I had a bad attitude, if I was talking smart and, you know what I'm saying, getting loud or whatever the case may be, or, you know what I'm saying? I was sitting there. I was sitting there. I was making phone calls. They allowed me to make phone calls and shit like that. But I guarantee y'all, they was trying to fuck my situation up. Okay, so let me tell y'all how another reason why. So they was like, can you get somebody to come get you tonight or whatever the case may be? And I'm calling or whatever, and um, my mom's like, oh well, I don't know. I guess I gotta call around and woo de woo. But when my sister got locked up, they hurry up and went and got her weak ass. But anyway, so and my brother, and he's like 40 some years old, going on 50. Hurry up and ran and got him. But the innocent one, the soft one, the one who's always letting people walk all over them and shit. Y'all want to put me in a bad leave me in a bad predicament or situation. Let me stay in jail for 2 damn days. Okay. Shit, that shit felt like 2 days too long, 2 months. Hell. But so I ended up going to the main jail out there or whatever. So they took me from the holding cell because, it she claimed that she couldn't get anybody and nobody was picking up and folks sleeping and this and in the case or whatever. But somehow y'all can get all the dots connected for everybody else. Yeah. So they end up taking me to the main jail or whatever. All the dots is connecting for me now. Like it didn't connect for me back then, but I can see it now because I know who's been causing all the chaos in my life. And I've been able to put 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 together. Okay. And so, I just know that they have been working together to try to work against me, to make me look like a certain way, to try to build up a bad reputation. And it's people that are elites and they want to take you out for insurance money and land or anything else that's left in your name for manipulation's sake. Okay. They may have did this to your parents as well. Okay, or whatever the case may be. So, moving forward, like I said, I want to make this quick, y'all. So I ended up going to the main jail, to the county or whatever you want to call that shit, like the big jail that it be. I don't know what it's called. Okay, like a penitentiary, right? Okay, thank you, Spirit. So I ended up going to like the main penitentiary or whatever, right? And when I got in there, on the ride there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just basically pretty pretty much me and the police officer was kind of just talking, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't understand, blah, 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 blah. And woody woody woo. And he was just, I don't know, we was just talking about random shit. And then I just got silent because I'm like, this some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And then once I got to the place, I was like, hell nah. And I had remember what somebody told me. And that was like, if you ever want to be by yourself, you know what I'm saying? If you ever want to be by yourself in a jail and you don't want to join the what's that, main population or whatever they call it or whatever, you can always say like plead insanity or whatever, or say like you gonna inflict harm on yourself or some shit like that, and they'll put you in a place by yourself. You know what I'm saying? After you have been what's that, booked or whatever, right, and fingerprinted and stuff. So I was like, look, I don't feel comfortable up in here. I'm like, I'm gonna hurt myself. She was like, are you for real? I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? I was fucking kidding, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I had never been to jail before. Like, I didn't want to join, what's that, general population. Like, I didn't want to go in there with, with shit that you hear about jail and stuff like that. And the type of person that I was and stuff, like, I was just like, hell nah. I do not, no. You know what I'm saying? And so, they put me in a well, I was in a little basic holding cell when I was getting booked and stuff. And then once I got booked, which took like a day, y'all. So nobody can bail you out until you are booked, right? So I found that out, you know what I'm saying? And I'm making phone calls. Like, they didn't let me make a phone call for like 5 hours, y'all. Like, I was just sitting in that bitch. Like, and I'm constantly banging on the fucking door. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to continuously bang on the door. Like, for like, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? After 5 hours, I banged for like 30 minutes and somebody finally came to the fucking door. And that was like, what's going on? I was like, have I been booked and processed yet? You know what I'm saying? Because I need to make a phone call, and It was like, oh, I'm checking. Let me go and check now. It was literally nobody else in there, y'all. I was like the only person that had been brought in there on that day. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, they let me make a phone call, and she still claiming she can't help me, and they gotta gather it up, and this ain't nobody got it, and all this bullshit lies. You know what I'm saying? So they ended up putting me in another cell or whatever, and it was like a cell by myself, like because I was booked and processed, they would have put me with the general public, but because I lied or whatever, which I had to, shit, I don't give a damn. They put me in a little cell by myself. So then let me tell y'all another thing. When I was taking my picture, right, this is something that they will do. The police officer that was supposed to been taking my picture and shit, he's sitting up here fucking talking to me and having conversation with me and shit in the midst of me supposed to be taking a photo. You get what I'm saying? And then I was like, why, and he took it right when I was laughing at some bullshit that he was saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, haha, laughing or whatever the case may be. And he taking a fucking picture of me as I'm laughing on the camera. And I was like, really? You gonna catch me off guard like that? I was like, no, we're gonna have to redo that one. He was like, no, we don't do no redos. We don't do no. I'm like, really? But you sitting up here laughing and giggling and stuff and telling jokes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, at that point, I mean, what can I do? It really does look valid of somebody trying to say that, you know, anyway, I'm not gonna move that far forward. So eventually they put me out in general public the next day, because I was like in a holding cell for like a whole day. But they put me in the general public like the next day or whatever. And when I got in the general public, I mean, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. That was stealing my stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't give a damn, because I was like, listen, I'm not trying to be here, okay? So, I ended up getting bailed out. I made another phone call, called a couple of buns people and stuff like that, and got them to get in touch with my mama and all of that stuff right there. But this is just a story for my younger crowd, okay? Because I'm sure the older people probably know how all of this goes, but you don't want to be in Mississippi late night by yourself, okay? Because these people be plotting on people, period. So that's actually my story. Oh, and let me tell you. So I ended up going to court, right? Ended up having to go to court or whatever. And they showed me the paper. I read over the paper or whatever. And everything that happened was virtually valid except like one thing. And it was saying that I don't know. I can't remember, but I probably need to pull that police report up and reread it and see the police officers and stuff like that was involved. That's what I need to do. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. And the ones that was on staff that day, that was taking photographs and everything else. It was a chunky black dude. I remember him, and the guys that pulled me over was white guys, and then they called back up, and it was a black guy. But yeah, I'm gonna check that out, do my little research. But like I was saying, you just have to be careful, okay? Moving forward. So I said I'm gonna make this quick. No more than 20 minutes. So we at 18:50. Okay, I got 1 minute. Okay, so yeah, okay. I end up going to court. On the outside of the court, I went on the inside of the court, and they was like, you're gonna need a lawyer or whatever the case may be, right? And so I'm like, okay, all right. Y'all did not have a lawyer whatsoever. Did not have a lawyer at all, right? So I'm like, man, by the grace of God, I just walked out, and I'm just like, okay, by the grace of God, I'm going to get, a lawyer. Like, I just prayed my ass off, y'all. Prayed my ass off. I looked at them charges, and I was like, hell nah. It was like, not stopping at a stop sign, no seatbelt on, what is it, paraphernalia, and that false charge, which was what is that, narcotics. Okay, and narcotics is like some other type of fucking drug. Okay, it's not weed is not narcotics. If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, uh, correct me if I'm wrong, but weed is not a fucking narcotic. So this shouldn't have been on the paper whatsoever at all, y'all. So this is how they try to frame you, and they try to get more money out of you to make you go and take these classes and make you do this and make you do that. So he was like, well, I was able to drop all the charges except for this one or whatever the case may be. But by the grace of God, I had like $500, y'all. That's all I had to my name, y'all. That's all I had to my name. And not to mention I had to pay court costs and fees and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So I was out in the parking lot and I was like, God, please just bring somebody to me. Please. You know what I'm saying? And that's another moment how I knew God was so very real. Like he showed me a plethora of times. You know what I'm saying? Where I would get emotional every time because I don't play about God, because I know God don't play about me. Okay? So, as I was saying, I was just looking at them little, but that's the shadow. I'm sure like, damn, I look sleepy. Good morning. But yeah. So y'all, $500. I said I was gonna keep this under 20. Okay, give me like 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. So, cause I gotta do some things this morning. Yeah, this man walked up. I still remember where he told me he was from. Cause I was like, I don't know, but if this man ain't married, like, hey. But yeah, he was a lawyer. I'm talking about, y'all, by the grace of God, it came out of nowhere. You hear me? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. He came out of nowhere. Okay. uh as I was praying, asking God to assist me, asking God to help me bring somebody my direction. And I went to him and I was like, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? I was like, sir, I understand that you may be busy. I have a few questions if you could help me out. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, well, go ahead. I don't mind. I was like, well, I got some charges that I'm trying to get dropped and I really need a lawyer desperately. I don't have time to get a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and all I have is $500. And he was like, $500 is all you got? I was like, yes. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, I see what I can do or whatever. And I was just like, okay. He got most of the charges dropped except for the false charge, y'all. That's the only charge that did not get dropped. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where that loop, not paraphernalia, but what is it called? Narcotic or whatever. I don't know, like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like how they got on there. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they be fucking people over, adding extra charges and bullshit, and then making me take classes and stuff like that, in which I took the classes, blah blah blah, whatever. But still it makes it look like something that is not. You get what I'm saying? As far as track record goes, as far as your name goes, as far as who you are in society. You get what I'm saying? Like they fucked up my name in a way, but of course you're gonna rebuild yourself, point blank period. People gonna see you for who you are in the present moment. But still, at the same time, it's not right for them doing it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be careful when you travel in Mississippi and stuff like that. I don't know if it's as bad as it was back then. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, this was like 15 years ago for me. Hold on, wait. No, like maybe like 12 years ago for me. Yeah. So yeah, y'all just be careful when you're doing it, and by the grace of God, a random man popped up, you get what I'm saying? And don't ever put anything to color, because color does not matter. It don't matter. Michael Jackson, don't matter if they black or white. Brown, orange, purple, pink, green. Okay, it does not matter. Okay, because only thing that matters in this lifetime is good and evil, because you're gonna have good and evil in everyone. Okay, period. So like I said, That was just a really traumatic experience for me at that age, you get what I'm saying, and being falsely accused of stuff and strong-armed. And now I'm just saying, if I was smart at the mouth, if I was a snappy bitch, if I was like one that don't know how to close her mouth or just gotta voice her opinion all the time, like many of us black women do, because we have been suppressed, you get what I'm saying, by our parental figures and stuff like that. But I wasn't suppressed like that. My mama didn't give a fuck. She was like, all right, go do it, yeah, go ahead, you know what I'm saying, which was fucking worse if you ask me. But you know, it was just a thing, like, yeah, ooh, pardon me, it was just like, as far as parenting goes, like, you gonna have good and bad of that too. But yeah, this Mississippi shit was like one of the worst experiences that I had, like, involving the police. You know, I've never had an experience with the police like that. Never did, never before that, never after either. You know, because I'm a respectable person. I respect people, you know, especially like law enforcement, because at the time I looked up to them. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, these are the people who protect us and blah, blah, blah. You know, before you wake up and know people's true intentions and the reason why they even join forces and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? For dominancy and, you know, power and control to, you know, most narcissists will do things like that. But it's not like the humble and the real going to get jobs like that. But we have plenty of them, don't get me wrong. It's like 100 to everyone, okay? But yeah, I'm just glad that I was able to be assisted by the Most High. He brought somebody in who could actually assist me, even though they didn't drop that false charge. You know what I'm saying? Now, I might need to sue Mississippi, because if y'all say y'all giving me a charge, then you gonna need to show proof and evidence, right? And then why did you have me walk that line so many times? I only supposed to walk and then come back. Like, I didn't mess up. So what are you doing? You waiting for me to mess up. You trying to give me an opportunity to mess up. And then y'all lock me on a chair and then, you know, not give me time to call until you say so, or whatever the case may be. You know, it's like they were trying to, if I had an attitude, I would have been Sandra Bland. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have been messed up, you know, because they were waiting, they were itching, the way that they was snatching me, you know, telling me to get up out the car and, you know, grabbing me and turn around, and you know what I'm saying, all of this stuff. Like, they weren't supposed to be doing none of it. And then it wasn't even supposed to be a man patting me down. A woman was supposed to pat me down. But I didn't know my laws and, you know, the regulations and all of that stuff at that time. I was very young, you know. So I just hope y'all get something from this, some knowledge from this. If you could, you know, just try to learn more about the laws, you know, especially where you are or where you plan on traveling, just so you can know how to conduct yourself and how they are supposed to treat you if you are pulled over. And, you know, whatever the case may be, like, they didn't even read me my Miranda rights and tell me, you know, I have the right to remain silent or get a lawyer or whatever the case may be. Like, I didn't get none of this shit, you know, and that's a major fucking lawsuit. You get what I'm saying? But like I was saying, and it's so crazy because people in my family, when I told them about it, like, they should have been hip to that. But because they don't rock with me anyway, you know, hey. And the reason why, you know, certain people don't rock with me is because of jealousy and stuff like that. So that's just the simple way to put it, because I don't feel like explaining all that bullshit. But yeah. So you guys, I am appreciative for you joining my channel, saying good morning. I'm about to go because I gotta do some things this morning. Okay. So I'm gonna get ready, and I really hope you guys take something from this. Okay, and shit, just know that in that moment when you need God and you God's people, He gonna be there. Period. Because I guarantee you, like, anybody else at that moment, like, it was no guarantee that I was supposed to get a lawyer right then and there at that time. And that, like, no, for $500 to do what he did and get all four, well, just about all those charges dropped, and then just make me have to go to classes and pay for classes, like, no. But I feel like it's because they knew that they falsely accused me too. You get what I'm saying? Because they had a conversation before I even came up there. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know what they was doing or talking about or whatever, but he had me to read over the thing. I was just like, yeah, shit. I don't give a damn if it's gonna get the charges dropped. Just drop that shit. But y'all, just don't get, caught up in Mississippi late night by yourself, okay? All right. So, and if you do get stopped, keep driving until you get to a main road where it's lights and traffic, okay? All right, I don't give a damn. They say, he took us on a chase. Well, bitch, I parked at McDonald's, okay? So, you want some breakfast or not? Because it's not going to be like that today, okay? But yeah, I love you guys, and I'm going to kick rocks. Bye.